Hey, good morning, everyone. It is August 7th, which makes day 54 here in Malaysia. Um, I'm still just kind of hanging out in camp because there's only 24 kilometers to get to Johor Bahru. So I figured this was such a, what do you say, nice, secure little campsite because there's really only one way in and out. And that's the road that I came in on. And from where I'm sitting right now, I'm actually looking at the entrance. So they would actually have to drive in there because you remember when we went down the opposite direction, there's that big pit and it just dead ends. Well, yeah. So I'm actually tucked back here where there's ditches all around me. There's that huge ditch, which didn't come out on camera, but if I would have fallen in there, I don't know really how I would have gotten out. I would have had to walk up and down that ditch because it was over 10 feet, maybe around 10 feet deep, but vertical cement walls. So that cuts off that whole side of that big empty field over there. So no one would be coming that direction. No one would be coming down the access road this way because that's completely overgrown and all that. So yeah, the only way in was the way I actually came in to begin with yesterday. Like I said, where I'm sitting right now, I would actually literally see them pulling up, and I'm pushed back far enough in the trees that they're not going to see me. Plus, there's a big ditch anyway from there. The only real access into here is where I came in. So, yeah. So I was like, hey, this is a great spot. It's like 24 kilometers is only like, at most like 2 hours, well, not the way I go. I mean, 4 hours the way I go, but that's just because I take so many dang breaks. I do average around 18 kilometers an hour. So that's what my average is. Sorry, mosquitoes are bad here. That's why I'm not thinking about hanging out too late in the evening because yesterday when I was setting up, it was very bad. So right now I'm burning one of these things, which is working okay. And I have some of that all natural mosquito repellent, but it's nearly impossible to find DEET here. I don't know why that is, but it seems like in Laos and in Vietnam and in Thailand and even here, they prefer to go the all natural route, which just is not fun when you're looking to relieve a pain like a toothache or something like that, and they're trying to give you all natural stuff. Even it's even for like diarrhea medicine or like the charcoal actually works pretty good. I know I'm rambling, but this time here in Malaysia, they try to give me these little pellet type things, and they didn't seem to work real well. I'm just like, where's the Pepto-Bismol, but yeah, no, I don't fully care for the all natural route, just because all natural routes are not as usually as effective. Because even chemically based things all come from some type of natural source, usually. Meaning it's found in nature way before before they make a chemical, where they condense it or whatever. So DEET, I don't know how they discovered that, but it works pretty good. The stuff that I'm using right now is like one step above just asking the mosquitoes politely to leave you alone. So, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, yeah, no. Anyway, last night, to catch you guys up, this is my other phone, my old phone, that I've been using still, because I didn't realize how good of a processor it had and how good of a battery it really had. The camera really stunk on it, but all in all, it was actually a lot better than that A36 I got. But I wasn't able to transfer my bank account app over. Now I still have access to my bank card because it's in my pocket, and Agoda and all the things I set up beforehand are fine. Everything's set up fine on it. It's just I can't check what you know, the amount of money that's going in and coming out of my account, stuff like this, which I need to set up the bank account on my new app, but they need a telephone number. So it's back to one of those two-step verification. To set it up on my phone, I have to actually have a phone number, and that phone number has to be a US number and all this stuff, you know. It's so I had to figure that out because I need to at least see what's going on with my bank account just in case somehow some type of fraudulent activity happens. I'll be aware of it. Hopefully that never happens, because that'll mean I have to go back to the United States, because I'll have to receive another card and all this stuff. And yeah, so that's one of the things I need to do. And this thing's broken, like completely broken. And before I go gluing the metal base onto the back of this just so I can use the magnet, I want to go in, because this is covered under the 1-year warranty. But the 1-year warranty is in Vietnam. And there's a very good chance that it's one of those, it's only covered in the country that you bought it. And I think my phone's that way. Like, if I have a problem with my phone under the 1-year warranty, I have to come back to Malaysia for the warranty. At least that's what they told me over at the store. And I think, I mean, both stores. They told me that with the phone, and they also, I'm pretty sure, told me that with the DJI, that it's only good for, the warranty is only good for Vietnam. So, although it's offered by DJI, it's the care package. And not all countries are offered that care package. Anyway, so I'm gonna go to Johor Bahru and kick up my feet and get some of these things done. Like I said, I was tempted to actually just go get some water, because that's all I'm lacking here, and kick back here and do some exploring on the roundabouts. Now that all my bags are off my bike, I can actually go somewhere else or just stay here. This is a good spot. But yeah, but if I stay here camping, I'll get nothing done. And I'll you know, so yeah, guys. Sorry, that's my morning monologue of what I'm doing. And yeah. Okay, that's all. I'm gonna get on my phone and figure out what I need to do here. All right, bye. It's Singapore though. Oh no. That's alright, I'll keep it. Maybe one day that can't be worth much in Singapore. Well, it's 5:20 and I'm just hopping into the KFC because I saw it was along the way. So I got a chicken and a rice meal here. I think that was 9 ringgit with some coleslaw and a drink. So that was it 9 ringgit? It was, yeah, something like that. And also my potato bowls. Potato, chicken, corn, and fake cheese. Now, it used to be real cheese a long time ago, but since then they've just been using fake cheese, I think. So I rented a room over at a capsule hotel, which is, it's basically, a capsule hotel is basically, it's a hostel, but you have your own closed-in enclosure area, not soundproof at all. So if someone's a loud snorer, you'll still hear it. At least I haven't ran into any that were soundproof yet. But the place was $7 a night. I got it for 3 nights. 4 nights didn't exist. They were sold out past that point. High ratings. $7 a night plus the $3 or $4 actually in taxes. After all the taxes and stuff, I think it came out to $12. So you're talking about almost $5 in taxes. So I know the $3 of that is the tourist tax, at least. I don't know what the rest of them are. But they had high ratings, and they're closer to the DJI shop. So that part that broke off, you kind of see it. That's the part. That's the clip that I use the mostly, and it's also the metal part, so I can't use the magnet either. I can glue it on the back and then use the magnet. But if I'm going to try and get it replaced, I don't want to go in with a bunch of jerry-rigged stuff on it, So like, well, you're the one that probably broke it, It has to show that it broke on its own. So that, and I need to try and get my bank app set up somehow. So there's just going to be me actually trying to get some stuff done again. And so, yeah, I'm going to kick up my feet for a while. I think I got 14 kilometers still to go. It's basically all highway. I put in the walking route, wheelchair accessible, and it's all free highways going around golf courses. That's why I can't go through any of them, because it's all like private residency and golf courses. So, yeah, there was no choice but to get on it. And I kind of messed up because I slept in for so late today because I was in a comfortable spot. I'm like, you know what? I don't need to get there early. I just kick up and just relax. I didn't know how hot it was going to be. So when I did get out, the sun was just beating down on me. And I'm sunburnt from the day before. And, well, needless to say, I was really regretting it, but then some clouds decided to come out and actually cover up the sun, so I was like, score! So the rides hasn't been that miserable because the traffic's not super bad on the freeways. They're nice and big. They're not confusing like they were back in KL and stuff like that, but they're fairly designed well here. Very nice, and with a nice big shoulder and stuff. And believe it or not, a lot of good camping possibilities alongside the roads. I'm just like, oh, there's a nice little grove of trees, because it's all well maintained, because someone comes in and cuts the lawns and keeps the grass down, right? So no snakes, no bad critters. You have to fight the mosquitoes and stuff, but outside of that, where I was camped, I saw a few squirrels, and a few ants, but nothing too bad. And mosquitoes are the only bad part. But then again, Malaysia's been really nice for camping. There's always seems to be a good camping spot somewhere. Yeah, I'm just gonna eat, and then I'll be heading to the hostel, so the capsule hotel. Hi guys. So I'm forced again because of the Malaysian roads where they don't allow you to actually cross the freeway anywhere. I mean the highway anywhere, so like there is no way to cross on this to the other side. Not without going up the steps across and then down. I actually would have to unload my whole bicycle, take it up and over, across, put everything down, pick up my bicycle, pull it up and over, across, and then down, just to get on the opposite side and go the direction I need. And yet there are no side roads that go in the direction either. It's just this one road. So I'm forced to go down the wrong way on the highway just so I can go in the same direction, the proper direction that I need to go. That's so aggravating. The city planners, when it came to these roads, man, they just did not know what they were doing. So I'll kind of show you what I'm talking about. I was on the one way right here, right? Going the wrong direction because I had the walking route in. The walking route doesn't care if you're going the wrong way on a one way. So when I put in scooter now, right? I put in scooter. It will show. It won't take me down the one way, but the only way to get over on the right side of the road, to be going with traffic and not against traffic, is I have to come down and around all the way out here. Now this is the road I'm supposed to be on, right? I had to come all the way down here, just turn left, drive over the spaghetti bowl, make a U-turn just to come back and get on the right side of the road. That is very poor road design. And that's just frustrating. And it's not like the Malaysian people don't know this, because you have bad city designers, road designers, when the public has to come in and correct things, like make their own bridges over canals just so that they can get to a store, you know? I see it all the time, that you can see where the citizens themselves actually had to go in and do road improvements or make ways across the street because they were blocked in on one side and stuff like this. And there's absolutely no reason that the citizens should be paying the taxes on poorly designed roads where they have to come in afterwards and redesign it themselves. So it is just a thing. Anyway, I'm not really trying to push the issue because I'm not trying to upset anybody. It's just but the roads here are better than KL. Less confusing, but same issue. Anyway guys, that's just my daily gripe. I don't mind getting off the freeway or off the highway a little bit anyway, seeing the back roads back here. It's much more beautiful. Oh, that's a nice little walkway right there. That's a nice little park. Wait a minute. There's home sweet home. For you guys that don't know what a capsule is, this is basically what a capsule is right here. So you got the air control, you got the spots that you can plug in your devices and charge them, which this one has plenty. They're basically all the same design too. So wherever you go, you're going to have those basically the same. This is for the airflow. Even though it looks like a radio, it's not. It's just airflow. You got the lights here, so you usually tap it. Goes down. This is the black light over here, so you know, you turn it off, turn it on, or if you want to come over here and just turn on a regular light. I prefer the white light on a lower setting, but yeah, I think they just actually look cooler than they actually are, because although it's nice to have your own privacy, these are like just plastic. I mean, really, that's all they are, is a thin plastic. They usually are controlled by a card. Sorry, I noticed the light. The fluorescents are making the camera weird, but yeah, I mean, it's nice. Like I said, it's nice to actually have your own little private spot like this, but I think it's more gimmicky. People do it's more gimmicky than anything else. Like I said, wherever you go, this is pretty well going to be the same setup, regardless of what you're, where you're staying. I think the first time I ran into these was in Israel, and it was, they're trying to go self-check-in and all this stuff, and man, these lights here are really affecting that. Let's see if I turn it up. But anyway, I'm just going to be doing some closing words anyway, so just deal with the little flickering that's going on for a second. Tomorrow I got to do some things. Like I said, I'm going to go into the DJI shop, see what they can do about the microphone. See what I can do about getting my card activated. I need to get a new pair of AirPods. Only one side's working. Just some cheap AirPods, that's all. I'm not one of those people that spend $100 on AirPods, so I always constantly buy the cheap ones, so they're constantly breaking. So yeah, so I got here, guys. I'm gonna charge up all the devices. I had some really good nights of camping, and I plan on getting back out there, but right now I'm gonna recoup for a while and figure out a strategy of which direction I want to go. Like, do I want to continue going south here, or I want to try and make the loop? I can figure all those out in the next few days here, because I could just kind of hang out here for the remainder of the month and see the things that are more or less, like going over to so Batam. I could go over to Batam, but that's Indonesia, so I'll be doing a different, and I still got, like I said, over a month on this one. So what I was thinking about doing is hang on a second. Yeah, I was trying to see if I could actually get from here over to East Malaysia easily. That's what I was looking up right now. Be on the same route, or on the same visa, basically. Go over there and then drop down into Indonesia after the visa expires that way. but the route looks like it's way too long. Like I would have to take several ferries to get out there and stuff like that. It was a little bit farther than I thought it was. So yeah, it definitely looks like what I might have to do is, yeah, go down to Batam. Yeah, but anyway, I'll figure out. Yeah, looks like I might just have to go to Batam or something like that on the ferry here. But who knows? Like I said, I just don't want to waste a month of my time. You know, I mean, if I'm allotted that month, I want to spend that month here in Malaysia without, you know, going down there. It's just, you know, I'm here. I just don't want to go there a whole month early, but I'll figure all this stuff out. I guess I could just kick up my feet and explore the area around here for a month and then go over. But you know, I'm a hobo and I constantly like to move, so I get restless being restless. You know, so yeah, I get restless being restful. So anyway, guys, I'm gonna say goodnight, y'all, and I'll see you tomorrow. I'll figure it out by then, maybe. Bye.